Nobody else is in?
Not yet. I don't see anybody waiting.
Okay. I think
It's not 6 yet. It's like 3 minutes to 6.
I guess everybody does. I like to be early.
Yeah, that's why I set it up, because, you know.
Because I ain't got all night for this either.
Girl. Me either, because like I said, I'm still working on this hospital report. And I've already had.
I got to send you what Lisa Redmond said. Let me do it now. Said about Gary.
What?
Yep.
I walked around there this morning on my walk because he had told me they were going to be there at 7 or something.
She's something else. I went in. Malcolm went in on her. I'm sorry.
Let me find. Where's my phone? Oh, I got it.
That institutionalized racism is something else. I'm just going to tell you. I just sent it to you. I'll send you the other one.
Have death in their families. My friend I grew up with in Santa Monica, her son died. You know Van Earl and Ronnie Richards?
Yeah.
Well, Marion married Van Earl when she was just 16. And their son just died.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And then my friend Sedonia, her son came home from work and his wife was laying across the bed unresponsive. And they rushed her to the hospital. She didn't make it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What happened?
She had been and she didn't feel good, but she just down and he came home from work and felt.
Wow, she probably had a stroke. The boy they arrested the other day snatched him out of his tent and treated him so bad he done had a stroke.
Oh my God.
He got a lawsuit. I'm agree. I got here. Then we found another girl over there with a spider bite. Took her to the Rose Medical Clinic. They took her immediate. Called 911 immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jay. Hi, Jay.
She can hear you.
Hi, Lydia.
I'm scrambling around because I'm leaving for Texas next week. So I'm listening. I'm gonna go ahead and put my screen off. But I wanted to see everybody's faces because I might be spraying my dog. Well, your dog, Laddie, come get your dog.
You spoiled that puppy, not me.
Your dog.
You spoiled that puppy, not me.
Oh, wow. Or like Felicia's Frenchie.
Yeah, I bet he's spoiled.
Oh my God, he thinks he owns the house.
Uh-oh.
Struts around there like, like he's the baddest male in the world. He barks at bigger dogs. He just
Napoleon.
Yeah, he's a little Frenchie, and he does have that Napoleon complex. Boy, he just. And when you talk to him, he just look at you like, I hear you. I'm not doing nothing you say.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Ingrid.
Nice to see you all. And I'm glad you don't see me.
John.
Hi, I'm here. There we go.
I know.
I'm a minute late because I was in a tenants union meeting. Tenants union meeting happened on the same night. I got a half hour in with them. Now I'm over here.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Loli. Are you in?
I'm trying to get in.
Okay.
Hi, Loli.
Hi. Hey, hi, everyone.
Hi, Sarah.
Just trying to get a better angle.
Is that Eileen with that sage business?
Yeah,
Of
that's-
course it is. My burrito before we start, so that is a song that I saved. I had it on the front of the wall when I had the sheet. I'm getting ready to put
Oh, okay.
professional stuff out, but then it got wet and I went, oh no, this is going inside. And we no longer have that sign. But it was so
Hey, everybody.
Hey, hi, Miguel.
Hi, Miguel.
everybody
Hello,
right
hello.
No.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. So I want to say, if people have radios or TVs or something else on in the background, if you could turn them off, because any little noise gets amplified.
I don't have anything on. Just the door open if the birds get
No,
one.
I'm just saying to anybody. I don't know who
Cool.
does
Okay.
or doesn't. Yeah. Okay. We
Let's
have,
just mute ourselves and we're not talking. We
yeah,
can
when
do
you're
that.
not talking, and if you want to speak, there's a little raise your hand button at the bottom. Where is it? I think.
It should be in the window, I think. No. Oh, it's reactions. No, sorry. No, yeah, under
Yeah,
reactions. is
under
big-
reactions, there's a raise your
Hand button.
hand. So if you want to speak, raise your hand. I can see it from the screen. Then, okay, so we have Naomi's here, Mike's here. Who is 213-842-7014?
John Wolf.
John, okay. Eileen is here, Ingrid's here, Jay, Loli.
And Sarah's the Venetian.
Sarah is,
Hi, Sarah.
okay. All right. So if anyone else comes in, I'll be able to see them and let them in. So, okay. So Laddie, do you want to do the opening? You need to unmute.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank everybody for coming to listen. We have some information that has to be shared with you. So we're going to start with Miguel.
Okay.
Well, let me
Okay.
just amp it up a little bit. That can you hear me? Yeah. At 2 meetings ago, when we were having our meeting in reference to the 501c3, the question came up as to paying for the 501c3 and how that would be done. And that led to asking Miguel about what monies were left in the fund from the GoFundMe. And at that time, Miguel said he would give an accounting at the following meeting. And that he wasn't at the following meeting. He had a doctor's appointment, and he indicated the night before that he wouldn't be able to be at the Tuesday meeting, but he would provide the information. And subsequently, Laddie and I had a meeting with him this past week to encourage him to come before the group today to respond to the issues in reference to the money. And so with that, I will let Miguel move.
Okay.
And
Cool,
just
thank
to
you.
let everybody know that this meeting is being recorded, just so you know. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Laddie. So yeah, in reference to that meeting that I was at, I did, indicate that there was no money left, in there. So I'm gonna just give a quick little, I guess narrative of some of that dynamic as far as that goes. And so this is about the finances, obviously, in particular the GoFundMe fundraiser, which we started back in, I believe it was late 2018 for the Penske lawsuit, with the intention they would help fundraise for the lawsuit we had. I think we were trying to talk about like getting a lawyer or some legal help. As you know, I think Beth started, and Beth and Margaret and John, and then I took over maybe later, like about 4 or 5 months after Beth had started, I took over the lawsuit. So we wanted to start a GoFundMe. That's what people wanted to do with the group. That's what we decided on one Sunday. And then, so we moved forward with that. The only way to launch the fundraiser was to attach it to a bank account. So we don't have a 501c3. We don't have any kind of formal bank account for Save Venice. We've never had that, like I said, we had attached it to a bank account. And so I offered mine, and people seemed cool with that. There was no issue with that. Like I said, this is like maybe like late 2018. And so, or early, maybe like January, either it's late, like December, winter of 2018, 2019. And okay, so yeah, so blah, 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 yeah, so my bank account, and then at that time, we got donations in, and it peaked at about $1,100. And with donations stopped coming in around June. The lawsuit with the Penskes culminated at about late, I think it was December 2019 or January 2020. And the GoFundMe link remained on the site. So, just because, updates, and, there's a lot of things we got to do as an organization and stuff like that too. So the link was left on the site, on the sidebar somewhere. And I guess during the George Floyd uprisings, which started in May of 2020, we started getting more donations. That was like May, yeah. And then, so the GoFundMe fundraiser expired in August 2020. I guess it has the expiration date as per GoFundMe rules. The total accumulated donation amount altogether over the year and a half, or almost, about a year and a half, was $9,307. I gave a tentative accounting to Letty and Naomi last week, and then we talked about it again on Tuesday, this past Tuesday. And from my numbers, which we're still kind of figure, some disagreement on how we're interpreting those numbers. The money that can be accounted for specifically for Save Venice purposes, that I accounted for specifically, is about 3,673. Of course, with the 1,300, the language around that or understanding around that, kind of unsure. 1,300 meaning the fee from the court fees from the lawsuits, and I gave them more of the receipts too. But that's the roundabout number right there, which would make the money I owe Save Venice $5,624, or if depending on the $1,300, how we work that out as far as the court fees, which are assigned to me, it'd be like in 7,100 or something like that, whatever the math is. So that's where we're at. we also talked about on Tuesday too, that it would be a wise decision for me to kind of like step down in whatever capacity that looks like, or however that works out, just for was proposed that way, like I guess not to gamble with any possibility that our adversaries would try to weaponize that against us as we start to form our 501c3, or as we move forward in this new stage of our activism and reclamation for the church and just our work in general. So and yeah, and so yeah, I agree to that. I think it's a good decision. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, I mean, that's a lot to take in a quick way, but if there's any like questions or any specifics or any other whatever comments and questions, I guess.
If you have a question, you want to ask a question, raise your hand. Eileen, I see you. Unmute yourself.
I was looking at the chat to see if there were messages. I'm not ready to say anything.
Okay.
Sorry. It's my hand, sorry.
All right. Anyone else with a question?
I'm sorry I didn't raise my hand, but I'm not clear, Miguel, on exactly what you're communicating. That's where I think I'm lost a little bit. I know you gave us dates and monies, but we're at I was taking notes, and my last tabulation was at 7,100, and then I lost it after that. Forgive me, maybe I got distracted.
Yeah. So the ultimate, I guess the sum is that there's no money in the funds right now as of like right this very second. So I gave a brief accounting of kind of like the timeline for how some of that money was accumulated in general, and then the rough expenses that were strictly for Save Venice items, and then because it's attached to my account, so it got blurred in with my I guess my living expenses, I guess you can say. And so over the last year and a half or whatever, and so the money that I owe specifically for like Save Venice, like I said, and depending on how we want to describe the 1,300 court fees, is 562 5,624, or 34, something like that. So that's the money that I owe. So okay, and I'm working out a I guess like a promissory note, an official promissory note, or some type of effect to making a payment plan to repay that, which that was always the intention, and yeah, so I owe Save Venice 5,624 or whatever the number is, and we're working on in an official payment plan or whatever to kind of keep that going as we're moving into the 501c3 season, and just to kind of cover our bases.
So as I understand what about the court fee, approximately $1,300, as I understand it, that money was initially listed in the documents, and Laddie, you have the paperwork, but was listed as Save Venice expense, but it was an expense that has not yet been paid. So, but that money would still come out of the Save Venice GoFundMe money. So that's what brings the 5,000, whatever that number is, up to 7,000, because that $1,300 would be added to the $5,000 that was spent on personal things. It still has to be paid out of the fund because it was taken. Oh, I don't want to say it. It still has to be paid out of the monies that were contributed for the purposes of the church and legal matters and out of the GoFundMe money. Even though you're saying that it's money that, I mean, that the bill was made out to you, Miguel Bravo, and that you were thinking that it was your expense to be paid, is that right? And that it had nothing to do with nothing to do with any monies that were owed to Save Venice.
Right.
That's your interpretation.
Hold on one sec, sorry. Okay, sorry about that.
So is that was your interpretation, or that was what you were
Yeah,
trying
so
to
so for example, like, let's say if we agree that it's 7,100, like, let's say if I hand you $7,100 or whatever it is back to Save Venice, I will still need that 1,300 to pay that.
No, that $1,300 would be paid out of that 7,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because the court fees are assigned to me, right? So it's like, if I paid that $7,000, I would still need $1,300 to pay for that.
No, if you paid the 1,300, and Lottie, correct me if I'm wrong, the 1,300 is part of the monies that you owe. And if you paid the 7,000, then that 1,300 would be paid to the court out of that money.
Right, yeah. Which would have to be channeled through me so I can pay it because it's under my name. You get what I'm saying?
They don't care who pays it, as long as it's paid.
Okay.
It would be paid on that account, on that court case number.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how I was viewing that, you know.
I see.
Margaret just asked, the GoFundMe asked specifically for legal expenses for the church, right?
Right. So again, I don't know if she came in late or.
Yeah, Margaret and Ed just came in a few minutes ago.
Okay, yeah, so if you remember, we started like in 2018, winter of 2018, May 2019, you know, that late December, early January, whatever it was, something like that. And that's what it was for, right? And then the lawsuits culminated end of, let's say January 2020, just to put a month or whatever. So, but that's when we got the final, like, this is what it is. This is the ruling, the judgment, blah, blah, blah. This is the fee. So, but so the whole time, the GoFundMe link was on the website, and it was just sitting there on the website on one of the sidebars on, I think, the homepage or whatever. So, but it stopped accumulating money around like maybe June, about mid-year of 2019. So, but yeah, originally it was for the lawsuit that we were working on against the city and the Penskes.
Okay, Eileen, your hand is up now.
So, Miguel, can you generate a report from the GoFundMe account?
Yeah, I already gave it to Laddie.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Yeah. Like it has like the,
okay.
I guess the individual donations, some of them anonymous, some of them have names, some don't, the amounts, all that, etc.
Okay, so you got that. All right.
I should have the dates on them too, whatever. I'm not too sure what extent.
They're very detailed. I participated in them.
Yeah. So but the thing is, because like we're not a 501c3, so there's different options when you have like an official business options. No, so for the individual accounts, or what I guess you can say, the non-business or the non-501c3 accounts, the reports are a little different.
How did you list it?
No, so I couldn't, like, my understanding is that the different accounts, the different business accounts give you like you could download a detailed report. So what I did with this one was I went through the, because it shows it online. It shows it like, in the account, right? But I can't print it, so I have to screenshot it. So it's a screenshot of all, I went through the list and made like, I think like maybe 10 pages of screenshots to kind of list all the donations in the GoFundMe.
If you need some assistance with the technology, there's a better way to do it, and I'd be happy to assist you. You can generate you can generate a report,
and you really don't have to print it. You can save the report. And it's something you can utilize, and I'd be happy to assist you with that if you need it.
Okay,
Then-
yeah. I didn't see that option on there, but yeah.
Yeah, then the other thing is, I got my accounting and secretary hat on for a nonprofit. Maybe it's changed, I don't know. I was secretary for one in Africa, secretary for another one here. Anyway, so I had a dual role, and the accounting, every single receipt, every single charge, everything. And sometimes it went in my account, which was okay because it was a time management issue. I worked, I went to school. And what I would do is download my statements, or at that time, I had hard copies way back. The most recent though, we downloaded for our foundation and the family. And you can black out what's yours. And you can still present what came in and what went out. And and you just title it, and that will cover. And it's work intensive, of course. You might discover more than you really know. I don't know if you've done that through Excel, because you can pull it through Excel and then put a formula in.
Put what through Excel?
Your bank account statements. Where's your bank?
Citibank.
Okay. Most of them have it. Chase has it. Wells Fargo has it.
Right.
Union Bank has it. I bet you have it, that capability. It's just a suggestion to help you prepare to.
So you're saying it itemizes
Yes.
individual.
And it'll even download it into whatever you work with.
Oh,
Excel.
okay. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. I know there's like they categorize like
everything, but
like
that's not always
whatever.
accurate. You have to go through every single line and go. And if you have the box of receipts, it's pretty simple. So,
right. Yeah, I wasn't trying to complicate it. Like I went through, what I thought were like the bulk. I used to, get a report out, the bulk. I guess things that I could strictly attribute to like say Venice specific stuff versus like say things that were like, I took an extra Uber, or I bought an extra book on Amazon or whatever, whatever. I bought extra vitamins or whatever or something. So.
You'll be able to tell.
Okay.
And if you need any assistance with that, I'm better in the morning. Sorry, Miguel, but I'm not a late person, and I'm available in the morning. And you could even, from anywhere from like maybe 7 and till 2 or 3. We just have to schedule it. If you need that, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, just to make it more thorough and all that. And
yeah, I know. I don't know if you have to do it. I'm just saying ways to do it, and it's important. You're transitioning to the VNC, and I'm, I care about you. I love you like a family member. So I am here to help you get what you need to show your facts, and then just go forward.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's in reference to his personal bank account, and then the downloads from the GoFundMe and all of the particulars for that. Those are 2 areas of documents that we don't have full disclosure from those 2 documents.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, the monies that was taken from the GoFundMe was then deposited into your personal banking account, correct?
Yeah, so the GoFundMe automatically, like I said, it needs to be attached to a bank account. So the GoFundMe automatically drops it into the account.
And you never put it into a separate bank account?
Yeah, because I only have one bank account, and I know there's
you could have opened, I'm just asking, you could have opened another bank account to put the money in, but you put it in.
there's a lot of things we could have done.
I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to make it plain and clear to everybody that's on the call so that we can all be, I'm just trying to make it plain, that's all. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Statements? Concerns? So, Miguel, you did say that in terms of, we're not a 501c3. so formally or officially, you're not a board member, but you are going to remove yourself from leadership position from Save Venice activities and discussions or votes, or whatever implications that may have. Is that correct? Pardon me. I didn't hear you.
No, no.
Eileen, do you still have your hand up?
No, I didn't. My hand should be down. I was looking at the chat.
No, that's been up since she was speaking earlier.
Oh, sorry about that.
No,
But
I don't know
Margaret
that.
okay, Margaret asked a couple questions since I'm talking.
Okay, I can't see Margaret's questions,
so
but so someone else has to tell me.
Okay, so the GoFundMe asked specifically for legal expenses for the church, right? My understanding is yes. Is that correct, Miguel? Yes. That's what it's titled from what my receipt. It's titled that. So that's a yes. So the second one, I don't know.
Did this happen early with an
earlier amount from the petition about 1,300? That I don't know. I
don't know what that question means. I don't know, like what.
For this particular GoFundMe, there was about $1,300 in an account that was attached to.
That was the GoFundMe. The same GoFundMe. So the GoFundMe campaign was initially for the lawsuits for legal fees or whatever we were hoping to do with that, and then after we were done or we were in the mix of the lawsuit and got finished or whatever, it was just people. It kind of went stagnant in terms of the activity on the GoFundMe, but the link was still on the website, right? So we never took it down off the website, and then come like a year later or whatever it is, George Floyd uprisings. The link's on there. People hear about the church and they just start, throwing more money in it. So that's what it was. It was like a kind of a activity hiatus in terms of the activity.
So does this amount of money include that amount that was there and then, depleted? Or is this, it includes that? Okay, thanks.
Yeah. It's all the same account, the same campaign, I guess.
Any other statements, concerns?
I think you should tell the group how much the GoFundMe made, though.
I did. I said total 9,300.
9,000 what?
300.
And it's empty?
Yeah.
It made $9,631 from the paperwork that you gave me.
I don't.
And yes, it's empty.
No, I don't. 307. I have the screenshot of that document. 9,307 and 60 cents.
Okay.
Legal. Wait. Legal fund to save historic African American site. Total raised $9,631.
I don't look. There might be a typo, but the screenshot I'm looking at right now that I have in that document that I sent you guys, 9,000.
That's what you gave me, Gal. That's what you gave me and Naomi.
I'm looking at it right now. I can drop a screenshot if you want.
Well, then what is this that you gave me then?
Which one's that one? That's the.
That says the legal fund to save the historic African American site, and it states total raised $9,631. That's what you gave us on Tuesday.
Okay, I don't, because the document I have right here, it says 9,307, so I'm not too sure where that.
The document you have says what? It says
900. Well, my document says 9,307 on the screenshot of the report that I did on Tuesday.
Are there any fees taken out?
No.
Well, I mean,
when they,
out, but not like,
I'm just telling you what it says here, what you gave me and Naomi.
So there's
And so I don't know how the price, I don't know how the price changed from what, hold on, from what you, that's why we asked you for a thorough accounting. So I think to give us one document that says $9,631, and now you're telling us it's another price, so you didn't give us the exact amount.
Laddie, Naomi, that document that I sent to you, that the Google Doc that I sent to you, on with the last week, whatever it was, go look at that, please. You get a chance.
you sent it to me.
I sent it to both of you guys. I think I sent email and text.
So to me, I see you, Eileen. Somebody has something on that's a lot of scratching. But okay, so between the document that Laddie's has, or maybe she's looking at it now, up in the upper right-hand corner, there was a dollar amount. And so then what I can see now is that there's just $324 difference between what's on the document that that you had on Tuesday and what you're looking at now. So either way, it's over. Either way, it's over $9,000.
Yeah. I mean, whatever the amount is, I mean, like I said,
it's over $9,000. That's
yeah. So whatever it is, I know there's no, like, I'm not gonna nickel and dime, like, I'm fully accountable to all that. I never, 100% whatever I got to do, hence the promissory note and whatever the numbers are, I'm all good, and I'm do what I got to do to, bounce it out or whatever. So yeah, whatever the numbers are.
So is there something else in the chat? I don't see. I'm trying to make sure. Eileen has a hand up.
Okay, so I did it check Tuesday night and I've downloaded, so I have it. Miguel, if you want me to send it. Because I was able to pull the total amount. It's just a few $100 difference. So what it stated was $9,631 raised of the $30,000 goal. And you can see it right there on the link, and I'd be happy to forward that to you too. Okay, that's it. All right, thanks.
All right, thank you for Eileen. Okay. So the 9,631,
unless it is
the amount that was raised.
The fundraiser, hold on. Unless it is a fee, maybe, I don't know. That's what.
We're not going to quibble over that. I mean, that's what the printout is.
It could be.
Yeah. And so Eileen has said that she has a copy. She can share it with you if you didn't keep a copy of the information that you brought on Tuesday then.
Okay.
So can you talk to the group about the items that you did spend on things that were spent particularly for say business activities or equipment or
I mean, during, like, I said, over like the last year and a half or whatever, it's been like the speakers we've been using, a lot of like the stationery that we've been using. I made like I said, a list for Naomi and Laddie. It's probably more to it. I gave more Amazon receipts than are on the Word doc that or the Google doc that I gave them last week. But essentially, it's a lot of kind of like, just like stationery type stuff, electronic type stuff. This monitor, we got a copier for making flyers, which we've used, so it's, and I can give that to the group as well too, like I said, because I've been using that to make copies for flyers we've been doing the last maybe like probably a year now.
Okay. Anyone else? Any comments, any concerns, any statements to be made?
I don't think we can do this again.
Somebody, who is this is 842? Is that you, John?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
me. Yeah.
All right. Go
Just
ahead.
yeah, just the obvious. And if you already know this and already agree with this, then I'm not talking to you. But out of this, what we got about like 6, 7, 8 people on this call right now. Let no one be the one who talks about this to anyone else, not to one's spouse, not to one's kids, not to one's parents, not to one's priest in the confessional, not to one's cat, not even to oneself in the mirror brushing one's teeth. Not one single word of this needs to go anywhere. If there's anything, try to avoid talking in your sleep. Just let this be the end of it right here for nothing. And again, if you already know this, and then I'm not talking to you, and it means you already agree with me. So that's all there is to that.
Are people interested or willing or comments about signing a non-disclosure agreement?
I will.
I will. I also have more to say, but I have a lot going on right now.
Okay, Loli, speak it out. This is the opportunity to speak, because I think this has very, very strong and deep, wide implications for Save Venice. It's not just going to be about Miguel and what anybody might want to say about distrust or mistrust or why it happened or any of that. It has very, very wide implications.
I honestly don't feel that there's any malice. I think it's more of a I can't think of the word. Just basically, like just accounting, first of all. Just the fact that it was in one account and not in a Save Venice account where there's just a different access to, different people get access to it. So it seems a little tricky to kind of try to have something in someone's personal account. I wouldn't be able to do that, but I'm just saying, like, it's confusing, and I just I don't know. We've had how many meetings, and I missed the one that this was talked about. I apologize for missing that last week. But it's just, I just don't understand why he has to step down.
Why he what?
He's saying he has to step down, Mike?
For one, there are real legal implications, because no matter how we feel as a group, this is classified as theft. And I mean, and that is serious. If it were any other organization that people contributed funds to, included myself, and it was spent on personal items, that not only is it mishandling a fund, a character, but then there's distrust associated with that organization. And we have to think, if we don't know Miguel and it was any other organization that people have given money to for a specific goal, that is a charitable, where for legal fees, and someone spent it, it was in a personal account, and it was not only mishandled, but it's exhausted, like all the funds are gone. Would you feel confident in giving money and being a part of that organization if we couldn't handle $9,000? I mean, no one's saying, I mean, I'm a businesswoman straight up, and handling funds, I am meticulous with knowing when money is not mine, right? I had a business partner, and there are things, so there are funds that I know are not my funds, because I know how much I make, how much I contributed. And, you know, you may be off, you know, here and there a few dollars because that happens in life. But to know that these were public funds donated for a particular charitable cause, that is the issue. Then having that person still be a member of the board, not only is it not good optics, but I think it puts the Save Venice, if it became a 501c, there are legal implications. And then all of us would be responsible because we all know this now. So that is my concern. I'm not taking anyone down because things happen, but I'm just being really honest. I didn't know about this. I'm not getting my butt in the flames for anyone for an action that I just didn't know happened. You know, and it's not a slight on, oh, okay, I'm not dumping on you, Miguel, but this does implicate other people. And we could all go down in flames if he doesn't step away, Lolly. You know, because there are lots of people who worked hard on this, who gave their time, who also gave money that I didn't give money for personal expenses, but we could all be implicated in all the good work that Save Venice has done, and the reputation could literally collapse because of this. At least if we can say as a group of people that something happened, it was unfortunate, and we handle it internally, and that person is no longer a board member, that shows that we took accountability of the situation as well.
Thank you, Jay. I think Lydia's hand is up, and John, your hand is still up?
No, just that one shot.
Oh, okay.
You can take it down somehow. Yeah.
Okay, so Lydia.
I'm I'm praying. I recall that it was attached to VC Puck, and we were all part of that group. And somewhere, so at some time, it changed to your name, Miguel.
Miguel, you'll get a chance to respond. So, okay.
And I want to understand where the money went. Because it wasn't yours to spend. This hurts because it's hard enough for us as Black and brown people to get a footing. I'm going to go back to praying. I'm sorry. I just, I'm trying hard to understand. Thank you.
Okay, Mike, you want to respond?
Yeah, okay. I know, just like, okay, sorry, make sure it's on. Okay, so as far as like me stepping down, I don't really have too much of issue with that. I understand the optics of it, you know. Me like, you know, whatever, I'm not about, you know, how I say, just, you know, whatever things we think we need to do to, you know, safe travel, whatever, I'm all down for it, you know what I mean? You know, as most people know, we've all put in a lot of work over the last 3-4 years or whatever, you know. And for people who know me, I live and breathe this fight every single day. What I'm going to sleep and going whatever. I'm sure a lot of cases for you too. You know, I actually acknowledge a lot of the cargo that I have as one of the central organizers of this group. You know, so like I said, you know, like no whatever, you know, there was never any thought that okay, I'm gonna just take this money or whatever, and I'm gonna do whatever, you know what I mean? And so I was never gonna think, okay, I'm not gonna be accountable for whatever. It never crossed my mind, you know. So but like I said, you know, like in terms of like if we really had to, like, so not that we're gonna go there because I'm stepping down, so we don't want to do that, for optic reasons, but like, I mean, a case can be definitely made too. Like, I mean, like I said, I live and breathe this stuff all the time, and I'm always, just doing stuff even when I'm not, like, in between work, phone calls or whatever, trying to research this, research that, whatever. But like I said, the way I see it, it wasn't an agreement that says like, okay, I'm charging for my organizing services. None of us, whatever. So it's like, I'm accountable for that money straight up. There's no way around it too. You know what I mean? And so, and to clarify, the VC Puck, that was that wasn't for the lawsuit. The lawsuit had specific GoFundMe. The VC Puck was a different item. When we started Save Venice, Save Venice was the website.
I gotta disagree, because that's not true. And if you're gonna tell the story, please tell it correct. When that was on there, it was meant for all money to go there. So please, I don't want anybody to think that it wasn't done the right way, because it was on the website. And I hear all of you, and we all gave of our time. We all gave of our money. We all gave of our soul. We all did these things, but it does not give permission for the money to be spent on personal expenses.
I agree, but again, too, the VC Puck, when we made the lawsuit, the VC Puck wasn't the thing we decided on. People wanted to do a GoFundMe, and hence why a lot of times I've been trying to get a lot of the structure and the meeting, the minutes and going for the last year, if not longer, because a lot of times if we had, that structure back then, we can say, hey, we agreed to this and this is what we agreed to, but we don't have that. All we have is our memory, for better or for worse, of what, those, Sunday meetings or whatever the case was,
So Mike, you're saying that none of the money that was on the GoFundMe account was VC Puck money?
No, the account was never, the account was originally on the web because, so like, for those who don't know about the Save Venice, so Save Venice.
Now, I just want you to answer the question about VC Puck money, because I want to ask you another question.
Okay, can you ask that again?
The money from the GoFundMe account had money there that was initially for legal fees, which was like $1,000 some, right?
Yeah.
And then more money was put into that same GoFundMe when after the George Floyd, but none of that money was VC Puck intended money. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it was not the link, or that was never, we never.
Okay, no. Okay, that's yes or no. But then I want to say that I understood that because it didn't have an account and there was no 501c3, that Laddie had suggested that put that money in the VC Puck account, which was a 501c3, and an accounting of the money could be done from that bank account. Was that your understanding also? No.
I remember it was mentioned about the VC Puck account after all that was already in motion. It was never brought up it was brought up in conversation, maybe once or twice. But like a lot of things too, there's a lot of things that we decide to do that we don't move on. And then it was never really brought up again.
So it was brought up as a suggestion, but it was never acted upon.
I mean, yeah, I guess essentially, yeah. But we have a list of 100 items that we talked about doing that haven't been done or acted on, so.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to clear that up about VC Puck.
Yeah.
So Margaret's hand is up.
Yeah. It was on the website, yeah.
I just
initially, way back.
Really believe if you put up a solicitation, you have to really honor the intent of the donors. And if you say it's for legal funds, be it the registration of the 501c3 or a lawsuit, whatever it is, I personally believe that's the only place it could and should be spent, and that nobody can assume because they're putting a lot of time and energy in that money should be drawn from that specific account, because as everybody has put a lot of time and money in nobody has gotten anything for it. So unless there's a consensus, I don't see that being a reasonable expectation. So I'm just bothered because when we went for the writ, at that time, there was $1,300 in the account. And on the last court day, we discussed it, and it became clear that there was zero money in that account. And so it had already presented itself as an issue that it was mingling of funds. So I'm disappointed that nothing changed. That's a big deal to me, that we already brought this up at the termination of the writ. And at the time there was, in theory, about $1,500 in the account that wasn't there, but I thought it was pretty clear that there was an obvious problem if funds were commingled. So yeah, it's pretty disappointing.
Eileen's hand is up again. So Eileen, I think it's really clear that, to me, the money that was contributed in the GoFundMe account, my intentions when I gave my little $100 was that it was going towards the money for the church. I never understood it to be for anything or anybody else. So for it to be spent for personal reasons is absolutely unacceptable. And I've let Miguel know that. So, yeah. So,
Okay, well, here's the deal. I mean, I don't know where everybody's going with it, but whatever. I'm going to say this. The PayPal link was on the website first.
Initially.
Now, I don't know what made you change it.
No.
You need to explain to people why. Because it was linked up to PayPal to go to VC Puck, which is Chase Bank on Lincoln Boulevard. I don't like it that it's being perceived that this wasn't talked about. It was talked about.
Not formally, it wasn't. Not like, we talked about
No, please stop. That's semantics. I'm talking facts. It was discussed. I gave you our information. That's how the PayPal was going to VC Puck. I don't want anybody to think that it was not originally set up to go to VC Puck. Now, you need to explain why you decided to put it to your account.
No. Okay, so check it out. So we're talking about the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe was never attached to the VC Puck. The VC Puck had a PayPal link on the site in its initial. Okay, the Save Venice site was created back in 2014, 2013 for the lawsuit.
Yeah, I bought the thing. I pay for it every year. I know exactly that. So it was on there, and it was on there. I pay for it.
Yeah.
I pay for the GoDaddy. I do all of that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So the VC Puck lawsuit link was on the I think the About Me or Donate or whatever, up until maybe like 2017 or so. I want to say we took it down because the lawsuit was already done. When did the lawsuit culminate for the VC Puck? It wasn't something that happened in the last year or two.
But you need to explain why it was changed, because the money would be on Lincoln Boulevard right now, because it would take 2 signatures to get it out. That's what I'm asking you. Please explain to them why it was changed from the PayPal VC Puck to your personal name. That's what I'm asking. Because I don't want anybody to leave here thinking that it was not talked about, because it was.
So again, there was a VC Puck link on the website, donation link on the website initially from way back when. And after when I ended my VC, I was at VNC 2014, 2016, so I didn't really do too much posting. I just did the maintenance on the website. Once I got off the VNC, I had more time to do my activism, whatever. So I invested more time in the website and updating the layouts, whatever. And around that year, around 2017, when did the lawsuit end for VC Puck? So whatever. So that it was on one of the pages on the website. So me, like, I'm a tech nerd. I'm always designing stuff and, messing with designs and layouts, whatever too. And so I mean, whatever, I thought back then, okay, the lawsuit was done, whatever, I'll just, I'm reformatting the pages, I'm redoing the layouts, whatever, and then I just left the link out, that was back in like 2017 or whatever. That wasn't any time recently. And then when we decided to do the lawsuit in 2018, people wanted to do the GoFundMe.
So was there, when you took the money down, and I don't know how this works because I don't I'm asking because for clarification.
Yeah.
You said that the money needed to go into an account.
Yeah.
Laddie's saying that VC Puck. Laddie, are you saying that it was on the link already to go into an account or?
Yes, it was on there. He knows that it was on there. And VC Puck agreed to be the sponsoring place because it had the nonprofit status, which is why I offered it.
I don't recall that.
So I know you don't, but anyway,
yeah.
But it was on there and you took it off. That's why I'm asking you to explain to our group why you changed it from
so in downloading
to your
downloading documents from GoFundMe back to the original GoFundMe account.
So the GoFundMe, sorry.
Would it indicate the total page and what was on the page at that time?
Well, I'm sorry, say it again.
Yes, Eileen is saying yes. If we go back to the original opening of the GoFundMe account,
yeah,
any information that was on the page, whether it was whatever it was for, if money was, because I wasn't a part of VC Puck, but if money was being put in there for VC Puck, and then money was then later on being put in there for Save Venice for the church, anytime something changed on the page, that would be part of the history of that page. Is that correct, Eileen?
Say it again. I was going to just write something.
I'm saying is anything that was on the page from the first time that the GoFundMe was open, whether it was for VC Puck or it was then changed, that would be on the history or discoverable on any pages that would be downloaded or.
Yes, BC Puck won't. That's what I was going to type.
Oh.
So it's apparent that 2 reports are needed. If the BC Puck is through PayPal, whoever is the administrator or the account person for BC Puck can pull a data report that reflects all of donations that went for Save Venice, if it said Save Venice. Then with the GoFundMe account, whoever is the administrator, and hopefully as we start our planning, there should be 2 backup for everything, including checks written for maybe $100 or something, 2 signatures, but then also administrative so that we can manage things. That GoFundMe, as an administrator, Miguel, you can pull everything.
Yeah.
And I offered to help, so you already know that.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
I just put in the chat, the link was taken down and there was no money that was ever given to VC Puck.
Because the GoFundMe wasn't the agreement when we started the GoFundMe. And at that point, the VC Puck donation lawsuit was already, the donation button for the VC Puck lawsuit had already been off the site for at least a couple of years.
I don't know what the lawsuit has to do with what people are asking.
Because from my understanding, you're talking about a VC Puck donation link or the donations going to VC Puck, which as far as the GoFundMe goes, that was never the case for the law, or I say the, I'm talking about the VC Puck lawsuit. There's a button on there that was on the site for a long time until I took off like in 2017 or whatever it was after the lawsuit had already ended.
But our lawsuit had nothing to do with Save Venice.
Exactly.
I only offered the account because it was already established.
Yeah.
And many of our members, Lydia, myself, Pam, are on the BC Puck, and Yvonne Guzman were on the BC Puck. So it took 2 signatures to get it out. That was the only reason why I offered it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember. I mean, if you did, you know, I don't remember that.
But it was on there, so you remember it being on there, correct?
Yeah, before the GoFundMe, yeah.
That's what I thought. And that's when I reiterated, hold on, that's why when I reiterated, you could use it for that. One of us could go up there. Naomi could have went, I could have went, Lydia could have went and changed Yvonne's name out because she has nothing to do with Save Venice. But it was just something that could be used, that had that 501c3 behind it, that the money could be accounted for. But it got changed out of that to your name, to your personal name and your personal account.
No, the GoFundMe was always like that. It was never.
That's what I'm saying. You changed it.
No,
changed.
No, the GoFundMe was never attached to the VC Puck.
I understand that, but if you had have left it like it was, it would have went to the VC Puck account on Lincoln Boulevard, which is Chase
So,
Bank.
Laddie, are you saying that the money would have went in, even though it was a GoFundMe for the church, the money would have went into the BC Puck account?
Yes.
Okay, so then there would have had to have been a separate accounting for.
You would have gotten it. You would have gotten the bank statements every month. You would have gotten it.
So for all
money could not have been taken out without 2 signatures. That's the way the account is set up.
So when the GoFundMe was set up for Save Venice, that was a separate account, a separate GoFundMe account, separate from VC Puck. And when the GoFundMe account was set up for Save Venice, there wasn't any indicator on that account to go into VC Puck.
The VC Puck was attached to PayPal. That was the avenue of donation. Yeah.
Okay.
The VC Puck. The GoFundMe wasn't.
One doesn't have to do with the other. It was just a way for the money to be in a safe place, which required 2 signatures to be taken out. And that was it. That was my only intention. But it was taken off. So it was put into your personal account with your personal name.
No.
Okay.
Yes, wait, Naomi. Yes, Miguel. That's exactly what happened.
No.
That is why you were able to spend the money as you saw fit.
This is what I'm hearing, and I'm just gonna try to be the objective listener here. What I think I'm getting is that the original link for Save Venice was under PayPal payment, and that was for particular.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It was under PayPal. Yeah. And when it was switched from the PayPal form of payment to the GoFundMe, which is a separate platform, that old PayPal payment system was removed from the site and replaced with the GoFundMe, which had a different platform and different instructions. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm not clear. I just want to be clear if that's what if I'm accurately representing that.
It's close. It's close. The VC Puck. Okay, so Save Venice is the website. Originally, Save Venice was just a website. It wasn't really a group yet until after we started doing the church stuff, really. But so there's a donation button for VC Puck lawsuit that was on the Save Venice website up until about 2017 when I started, redoing the layouts and adding doing whatever I was doing as far as just updating the site and stuff, right? And come end of 2018, we started the GoFundMe, and so we made the GoFundMe and put on the website. It wasn't like a switch out. At least not like where it's back to back. Maybe like, hey, I took it off like two years prior or whatever it was, but it had nothing to do with the GoFundMe
No, it wasn't 2 years prior. I'm going to end this because you know what? I'm getting frustrated because Laddie Williams knows what she did. And Laddie Williams doesn't appreciate the fact that you're trying to tie VC Puck into what we were trying to do. That is not it. The money should have stayed, should not have been redirected. All it had to do was a new sentence written that this is where we're going to donate money for the lawsuit. That's it.
Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying now. So that the link that was originally on there, that should have been the link to do the fundraising or whatever. Which, in retrospect, I agree. But like I said, in the motion of things and the way we were going about at that time.
No, we can't blame it on that. We can't blame it on that. I'm sorry. I can't let you blame it on that.
Blame on what?
The fact being is that I had said that the physical sponsor could be VC Puck for Save Venice. It was on the website. It should have never been redirected. Never. That's all I'm saying. And I think you need to accept responsibility. And I'm sorry if this is going to hurt everybody's feelings, but $9,000 is gone. And that's the bottom line. You got to come up with how you're going to pay us for it.
Yeah.
And that needs to be given to us ASAP.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's why I'm here. I have no resistance to, being accountable or whatever.
But I haven't heard you apologize for your actions to this group.
Okay. Well, I apologize for mismanaging the money,
Thank you.
I think all of the argument seems to be more surrounded around like the narrative of the timeline or whatever, which I think at the end of the day, we're in a situation. I'm not backing out or being fussy about doing what I gotta do to make things right or whatever. I'm not doing that too. But obviously, I'd rather not fight about or argue about our different interpretations of what we thought we said or what was said or whatever, because we didn't take minutes for a lot of those meetings. We didn't, a lot of them were on the fly meetings or what have you.
Wait a minute. Minutes have nothing to do with this. I'm sorry.
No,
I gotta interrupt. Minutes have nothing to do with what happened. Something happened that should not have happened. Nobody else wants to say it. I will say it. Minutes have nothing to do with this. Money was spent that was not okay by this entire group. I'm just going to be flat out.
Yeah, no, no, yeah.
So minutes have nothing to do with that. Because of the mere fact that money was spent that this group did not give an okay for. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. But definitely, yeah, I was irresponsible. I was in the wrong. Yeah. I'm just, I guess some of my goal, is I just want to be clear about, people kind of, having at least a semblance of understanding my mindsets and taking in the contextual information and of everything we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So
Miguel,
I'm responsible. I can do what I gotta do.
Raise your hand if you want to speak, so everybody can't speak at one time. So Miguel, are you finished with your statement for right now? I get it. So you did say that you would develop a installment payment plan.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Pay the money back to
ASAP
to the group, and you'll submit. When do you think you'll submit that?
I could do it by Saturday. We'll say it. Yeah, Saturday's fine.
Okay. All right.
But Jay wanted to say something. I think we should let her say it.
I'm gonna let her say it. I just wanted him to answer that question. So I see Jay. So go ahead.
Thank you. The only thing I want to say, Miguel, is no one is negating the amount of work you've done or the commitment, but there's 2 things: is the mishandling and a betrayal of public trust. And that is something that I think this group has worked collectively very hard to maintain. And while that mishandling may have been not intentional, there definitely are backlashes to that for the collective
For
group
sure.
and what the overall forward movement of this group could look like.
Right.
And so it is hurtful because not only publicly, but within us, we kind of trusted, and everyone had lots of stuff going on, and COVID came and it was crazy and everyone's isolated and things moved. But I really just want you to understand that this is not an indictment of everything you've done, but it is a call of action and taking responsibility, which you have
100%.
for the betrayal and the really lack of long-term foresight in how this will damage and almost undo so much work that you and everyone else has done. So I just wanted to say that
I agree
because
100%. Definitely.
Margaret?
I think I'm frustrated because it's obvious that it's a problem and it's obvious that it's an unfortunate circumstance and it's a small, hardworking group that completely depends on each other. But I do want to say that when we were concluding the writ, there was at that time around $1,300 in the account. And we discussed it at the court because there was going to be an amount due. And it became apparent that there was zero in the account at that point. So it already happened once.
Oh, I see.
And we acknowledged it, and you acknowledged that it was, commingling of funds and it was a little hard to track, but this is another big chunk. So it's the second cycle, and that's really a drag.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Margaret, that the money that had been put in the fund for the legal issues, that at the conclusion of the writ, there was no money there to pay the writ fee. And so there was a discussion about commingling the funds, misuse of funds, not tracking funds and so forth. So this time around, with the absence of 9,000, whatever, $631 and not an accurate accounting for that money, that this is, no lessons were learned from the first time. That's basically it, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
that is what happened.
Yeah, and so like, and then when we talk about the discussion, that was like the 10 minutes we were hanging out after outside the courtroom, like, so like, again, everything, a lot of things, when we say things were said and things were, I said we talk about a lot of things, and like, a lot of times, like, okay, to get things done and whatever, just to actually make things actionable, it's always been a different thing than what we discussed, because there's so many things that get discussed in, say, Venice, and that we don't act on, or we don't like follow up on whatever, for whatever reasons, and so
I'm just saying that problem had already shown itself.
right.
So if you didn't learn from the first experience of the money not being
Well,
accounted.
yeah, and then at that point too, like that was like what, late December, early January, so we were kind of, I think a lot of us were definitely, very kind of like burned out, I guess you can say, from the lawsuit, because that was like almost a whole year thing that we were doing. And so like the link was left on the site. So it wasn't like,
Miguel, the bottom line is that there was money that was donated for a particular cause, and you spent it for whatever period of time, under whatever stressful circumstances, under whatever might have been a distraction, whatever rational you can attach to it. The bottom line is that you spent the money unauthorized and you owe the money.
Yeah, correct.
So I said in the beginning that I think that this is beyond just dealing with actions of irresponsibility or unaccountability on the part of Miguel. The reason that I asked about the non-disclosure agreement was because the implications that go beyond for the organization Save Venice, because Save Venice has been at the forefront of so many activities in the Venice community, everything from advocating for the church to everything. So I'm frightened at what might happen in terms of public opinion and the effect, the negativities, the effect that it will have on the organization and the things that we've done, the reputation that has been worked for and earned over the period of years.
There's a question in the chat. What was the funds spent on? Can you please tell us?
I've explained that already, and not in detail, obviously, but with the reports, I talked to you and Naomi, and yeah, so.
You only reported the spending of $3,000. That's it.
Yeah.
So the question is, what were the funds spent on? Can you please tell us?
Like I mentioned to you and Naomi before too, like it's a kind of overlap of just like my general, like if I bought extra groceries, if I bought extra coffee, or over the course of the year and a half or whatever, this is just various expenses like that, just obviously I was comfortable with the money or whatever, and cooped up COVID and whatever else, and I mean I was just comfortable with the money that was in there. So it could be anything from, like I said, maybe bought me a new pair of underwear to like bought me some vitamins or something, so.
Can you say what money you bought, what equipment you purchased? Those were the bigger items.
Oh, the printer, the print copier, which totally I can, give it to the group, the copier printer. I got a monitor for my computer because, I do a lot of the correspondence, I do a lot of the web stuff, I do a lot of the media. So, I need an external monitor for my computer, and I was using the old wooden chair. So I got a bigger chair, not that, relatively cheap chair, but, things that up, things that nature, mouse pad or, stuff like that. I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but I did make a list. Some of the website stuff, some of the, the like office trays, like some file boxes, the office trays, the speaker amp, the Zoom app, the the locks for the church, the link tree, some of like the digital social media accounts.
The iron door for the church.
Yeah, iron door for the church, the MailChimp. I think I said that. Some of the website stuff, stationery. Yeah. I'm sure if I go through and itemize stuff, like, go through some of those receipts that I gave you guys.
I know you put it on the receipt. I just wanted it to be voiced in this meeting so that.
Yeah, because I have a list like that a general list I made on that document, but then I think that stack of receipts that I gave you and Laddie on Tuesday has more than that. So, yeah.
So Eileen is going to help you with downloading from your account and from the GoFundMe accounts from the very beginning.
Yeah. So there's probably more expenses that we got, but like I said, that's just the list I have on this document versus what we have. There'll probably be more expenses for Save Venice.
Okay. So you will have your installment payment plan ready by Saturday. You and Eileen will get together and talk about when she can assist you with the
Yeah.
the
Well,
download.
actually, sorry. Real quick. So actually, no. If I could do that, I'll have it on Monday. Maybe I think could get together over the weekend, so I can go through some more of the itemization things or the list or whatever, and then that way, on Monday, let's say Monday or Tuesday, we have a more accurate list. That way, it gives us time to kind of go through it and it's not rushed or whatever.
Well, you and Eileen can work that out.
Yeah.
She's saying yes.
Okay.
Lydia, and then John, is your hand still up?
Negative. I think I don't know how it won't come down. I don't know.
Okay, all right, so Lydia?
I'm staying prayerful about this. I'm having a hard time thinking about Miss Jatan because she's our elder. She's notified or informed who's going to do that, and I'm not going to sign a disclosure until the fund's paid back. I can't.
Okay.
Just because I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around it. It's not because I'm a simpleton, but because the money wasn't his. And that's all I got to say. I love you, Miguel. I'm going to stay prayerful.
There's no demand to do a non-disclosure agreement. It was something that was brought up, so I'm just put it out to the group. But and then John did say that he thought it should be not go beyond the people on this.
Of course.
Definitely. And yeah, and as we close too, now I look forward to with this new kind of like this, I guess, this momentum of accountability too, that there's a lot of other things that have lingered in this group for the last couple of years, a lot of significant issues that came up between people and situations. And so we can say Venice moving forward, starts to iron out some of those accountability wrinkles moving forward too, for the best of everyone. Me being obviously an example of that. But yeah.
So I know that we were in the process of finalizing the 501c3 with the name Save Venice Community Organization. And so I just wanted everyone to confirm that that's still what the group is still supportive of wanting to do that. Okay, Eileen, you have your hand up.
Okay, so
thumbs up.
okay. I just want, well, that was for the
Yeah,
name.
I got it.
So I want to just clarify with a non-disclosure. Okay, so this meeting is confidential. From my understanding today, that we are not to discuss this outside this group. And then the second part is, in my sense, yes, I'll sign a non-disclosure after we get the facts. We want to see the facts before we make the decision. That's why I offered Miguel, I'll help you, because you might find more than you realize. Yeah. And if you don't, then we just move forward. Yeah. It's all about honesty and integrity and humility. Yeah. We make a mistake, we own it, we move forward. But you don't know. We can see what's there and then move forward and present those facts before anyone's asked to do a confidentiality waiver. But for the purposes of today and in this group, and I think, if you really got to consult with each other that's in this room, I don't know, Naomi, you give me feedback, but I think it's very important we don't go outside of who's here today.
Oh, I would strongly suggest that. What is Miguel's role in the meantime, and for what period of time? Because we talked about stepping down, but that also would bring question if he's not able to respond to Save Venice issues. Certainly people would want to question that. Laddie, you have a question you wanted to say?
So we're not telling the rest of the group. Is that what we're sitting here saying, that we're not going to tell the rest of the members of the group what's going on? I don't think that's wise. So then we're looked at, sorry, John, we're looked at as not telling the truth ourselves.
Which group? Who's not
We have a
telling us
group.
the truth?
We have a group. We have a group of 24 members. And you guys can shake your head if you want. If that's what we're going to do, and we're not going to tell Jatan, and we're not going to tell the other people who aren't here what's going on, I'm at a loss.
Well, I know Jatan's name was on the invite list tonight.
I didn't see it.
Whoever's officially, they don't have to be present in the meeting. Whoever's officially in this group should know anything and everything about it. I'm just talking about outside of who's the. Oh, somebody's not. Can somebody please mute? I'm hearing something in the back. I'm hearing myself, I think, in the background.
A lot of background, like TV.
Okay. Yeah. So, right. The group as it is, even if it doesn't have to just be whoever was able to come to the meeting today. The group should know everything they need to know so they can go about the business of the group. That's understandable. I'm just saying that outside of the group, whether present or absent today, your most trusted person that you know is not accountable to the group, so they should know. And I do want to say, let me add a little something to this too. I know it's going to be impossible. It's going to be different, and everybody's going to break this rule as soon as we hang up this call. But can we try to keep to a minimum horizontal conversations about this? When we all hang up and say goodnight, God bless, say a prayer, and this meeting's all over, let's try real hard not to get on the phone or start texting each other and talking a bunch of stuff about this on the side. I know it's a hard temptation, but it's bad form, and it never, ever, not in the history of organizations has it ever resulted in anything positive. So let's try to just, when we get to this time, we can have another meeting if we really need to hash more of these things out. But let's try very hard not to percolate once this meeting is over with more and more stuff, because it never goes well. I've never seen it, never known it to go well when horizontal conversations are just bad mojo.
So Laddie said that there's 24 people in the group. So we have scheduled a meeting every Tuesday at 2:00. So those I don't know everybody that's in the group. I guess they would be on the Signal, list.
We have the Signal list, and we have the list of 19, because all 19 people are not on the Signal list.
So which list should be invited or should be informed? The 24.
Go ahead.
We don't have a consolidated list. Is that what
Go ahead. Go ahead, Eileen.
Okay, so for example, today, I reminded everybody on the 19th and Signal about the meeting. What we could do is this meeting is being recorded, and if they want to get updated before the next meeting, Miguel's already set up the Google Drive for City Venice. That recording from your Zoom, Naomi, can be uploaded into that Google Drive. And then those in the group can go ahead and look at that if they want. It's also a good place for all the minutes and communication. It makes everyone take responsibility to look at the drive and read things that are on there, rather than everybody going all over crazy, which I know Miguel's tried to do quite a few times. So maybe consider that, since it's going to be specific to the group, then you ensure it's to the group and only those that had access to that Google Drive.
Can I make a suggestion, please?
Sure, go ahead, Margaret.
So what if we keep this conversation today limited to these people on this call and give Miguel and Eileen an opportunity to iron it out and to have less hearsay and more facts before sharing it in the broad group, because that seems like it doesn't need to be discussed until there's actual facts.
Yeah, and then I just want to add too, I think the gist of it is already there. I think it's more a matter of like, okay, specific numbers, which we need to, we'll figure out the exact numbers, but the general situation is what it is, I mismanaged, I messed up, we could have done a lot of things better, didn't happen, we need to fix it, I'm accountable, the payment plan, all that too. So all the gist of the scenario is,
I think when
There.
you submit your installment plan and that's recognized as a commitment from you,
right.
I I think the more people that are involved in a secret, the less of a secret it will be. So I just know that because that's just human nature. So we have another meeting next Tuesday. If the group wants to just keep it within this group until next Tuesday, because we will have the installment plan certified or whatever, however it's going to be documented or committed or signed off on. And the documents from Eileen working with Miguel on both his personal bank account and on the GoFundMe account, then those would be part of the final report. And but whatever the group wants to do, and I'll hear from each one. Do you want to just keep it within this group until next Tuesday, until after next Tuesday, having a meeting on Tuesday, getting the full final documents? Or do you want to open it up to the other individuals? I think there's 13 people in this meeting. So it would be another 9 people. Would be included, or notices sent to. Eileen said she sent them about the meeting today, so I don't know why they're not here, but anyway.
Eileen, I just looked at your text. All the information is not in there. It just gives the code number. It just gives and you put PC, but it gives the ID, but it doesn't tell it reminds them, but we never told them. So
Well,
it's really last minute, because you did it at 6:06.
Yeah, I was a reminder and meeting ID.
But listen to me, please. It was never told to them. It was never told to them that we're invited to. So it was very last minute at 6:06. That's all.
Patty, I was following up to your texts on both were saying, please come to the informational meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Look for Naomi's email. So all I was doing was backing it up.
But Naomi didn't send the email to everybody.
Well,
Right.
I saw her. I didn't look at her.
Yeah, I only sent the email to the people that I sent to.
I don't know. I thought I was.
And Jatan was included on the email, but I didn't know how she was going to be in the meeting. I just know that I put her name on there. So.
Okay, so if you would like me to refrain from a reminder, I was backing up on Laddie's, or maybe my communication wasn't clear enough.
No, Eileen, no, I'm just saying that if the group wants the other people to be included, when do you want them included? And we're already have a meeting next Tuesday. And at that meeting next Tuesday, would that list be extended to those other individuals?
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
So anyone else with any comments? I don't know whose phone is open, but there's a lot of, any other comments or closing remarks? I think each person should expressed what their concerns are or how, I mean, have you, Ingrid, this group can decide next Tuesday, but no more secrets. So, Ingrid, you can speak out on that, please.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Groups with secrets, I don't really feel comfortable being a part of. We need to all know that we are all human. We need to all know we will all make mistakes and have made them, and spit it out, say it, you know? And I remember when we formed a 501c3 here at Lincoln Place in the early 90s, and we always had open and public meetings, and everybody just, vented and was opinionated, and we loved it. And that's the way it needs to be. And when the 501c3 is fully functioning, and we can put an incorporated behind Save Venice Community Organization, Inc. We need to establish a business account, because that's what we will be, at a bank with 2 signatures, just like Laddie had with VC Puck. And we need to get a treasurer that will keep track of all incoming donations and of all outgoing expenses, and only that person or those people that will be authorized by the group to have an expense account, meaning bring your receipts and we will reimburse you, gets to do that. Otherwise, it's all voluntary work, and nobody can say, well, I spent so much gas, and I took 3 Lyfts or Ubers for this or that meeting here and there, and it was all related to the group. Yeah, we have all done that for years, and no, we didn't get reimbursed, and we would never ask for it. We are all volunteers, right? That's
Right.
what our power is.
Right.
That's the power of a group, that we love doing what we're doing, we are committed, and we don't want to get paid. Enough said.
Okay. Anyone else? Edward? Ed, are you wanting to speak? No? So for me, I don't want secrets either. Oh, he says the speaker does not work. Wow. Okay, Ed, you can put it in there.
Well, Ed typed it in the chat. He said, yes, get better data, and Tuesday, because Tuesday is near.
Okay. And so does that mean that we keep it within this group until Tuesday, or we expand the group and include them at the next meeting? Can you, I'm just going to ask for a raise of hands to, you want to keep it within the group, and if you can just put yes in the, let's wait till Tuesday. Okay, that's Ed. Okay. So waiting until Tuesday till we get all the data, can you just raise your hand to that or let me know? I see.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. All right.
And I have a question after we get the data, the other 9 people. And I hear what you're saying, Laddie, and what everyone else is saying about full disclosure to everyone, because we all need to know what we're involved in. Are those other 9 members continuous members that are extremely active? I'm just asking because I don't know, because I know I've been not at any in-person meetings. Because this is just such a big thing that if this leaks out, it could be potentially damaging for
I
all
said
the
9.
adversaries.
Yes. I said 9, but I did my math. It's
Mhm.
actually 11.
Okay,
We have 13 people here and there's 24 people all total.
Yeah.
So there would be 11 additional people.
Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm very concerned about Jatan knowing,
Mm,
and I want her to know.
yeah, I get that. No, I
Because
totally understand that.
she's not here. Now, the other people, if you don't want them to know, I agree with Ingrid. Secrets are not good.
No, and I'll be happy to talk upon. I mean, I talked to her.
Let me just say this. Jatan was on the list. You can go back and look at the 2 lists. I know she,
But she's elderly, Naomi. She might not have known how to work it.
Oh, I know that.
I hear what you're saying, but I still have that respect for her
And
because she's
Lanny,
sat there with us forever.
Jatan's name, I always expect that you're going to be the one to make the contact with her because that has been your habit.
Right.
Yeah, so that was just expected. There was never any indicator on my part that Jatan would not know her above everyone, actually.
My thing,
The others,
that's what I'm saying, because then it just becomes a bigger circle, and it's how everyone's comfortable with that being out in the world, because once it's out, right? We can't unring the bell.
no, I can't disagree with you on that. I can't disagree with Naomi on that. I was just bringing up Pam's not on the line. Pam's not on the line. So there's a couple of people that should know, and I'm with Ingrid. I think it just should be known because people gave out of the greatness and the goodness and the love in their heart.
But if people are known and this gets out, then there's accountability. I'm not advocating for secrets. I'm just advocating that everyone knows what's at cost, the pros and the cons of keeping a smaller group informed of this versus everyone in it being out. What are the potential public ramifications? That's all. And I understand with Jatan and a few other members, I'm just, I'm just painting a broader picture. It's not about just the secrets, because there was a secret for over a year and a half, and obviously we're not happy with that as this intimate group. But then there is the reputation that's at stake with non-essential members and how that could get out there. That's all I'm bringing attention to. I'm not saying one way or the other, but let's just think about it as a whole.
So obviously,
If I can add real quick, sorry.
it's going to be known information at some point in time. And I just want to backtrack because I said I put Jatan on the list. I really think I did, but now that I think about it, I'm not sure. But so I don't want to stand on that, but I do believe I put her on the list. I'm not sure. But of course, Jatan for me should be involved in everything all the time. So I don't see any reason for that. For this group, for this meeting, I wasn't sure who to invite to the meeting because I do have a concern, not about keeping secrets, but about being able to manage the situation so that we know how to respond to issues out there in the larger community, because Save Venice has a reputation. And how are we going to address that? We should all be speaking with the same voice, with the same responses about whatever's going on. It's going to be conspicuous if Miguel is not actively involved, if he's not able to answer questions. We've been getting emails from Miguel all week because people have been sending things to him as part of the leadership group. What do you think about this? Here's information concerning this. Miguel has forwarded things to us to say, what is your opinion? He's on the Venice Neighborhood Council that he's going to be sworn in next week or sometime. So the implications for Save Venice, because of Miguel's involvement and association from the very beginning, from whenever that started. So I just want people to be aware of that, not that, I mean, it's something that we eventually are going to have to deal with, but I don't think that there's any way for us to know the broadness or the depth of that information or the response from the community at this time, including Councilman Bonnet, including other folks that we have thrown darts at ourselves, so the kickback or the, what's going to happen. I mean, Miguel's going to have to deal with that at some point when the information does get out on the BNC, because, we have, Murez has been a target that we've said, I mean, there's been a lot of things said. I just want just to kind of lay it out there that way, not because I want to have secrets, because I think we all need to be able to work together and trust each other and to be able to move forward with our common cause. But we've had a wrinkle in our plan. And I think there needs to be a way that we understand how we're going to work that out. And then we can move forward with that strategy. That's all.
Well, Miguel just wrote in the chat, it was never a secret. He let us all, I let everyone, whoever asked about it, know the situation status of these moments.
That's not to go back, but yeah, no, just because
I don't.
when people had ever asked me in the moment, whenever
You never said the account was at zero. You never.
No, I said when people had asked me the situation, when people had asked me in the moments, oh, like what's up, what where are we at with the funds or whatever, when no one ever really asked me.
But you never let us know. It looks like you would have let us know that it was at zero. Why did we have to ask when we had our full trust in the fact that you had the money? Why should we have to ask? You should have said to Save Venice any day,
like, yeah,
on the 2 weeks that you said it, that the funds were at zero.
I agree. And like I told you, Naomi, too, it's, obviously it's an embarrassing situation, you know what I mean? So.
But you just wrote in the chat that it was never a secret.
It was never a secret. Like I wasn't like trying to hide from nobody. Like I lied about it or whatever.
I'm leaving because you know what? We're not getting anywhere because you're not being honest, and I'm about at my wit's end. Because that's not true what you just wrote in the chat. I need you to be truthful. Everybody did not know. Everybody did not know, or this conversation wouldn't be going on.
That's not what I wrote, though. That's not what I wrote.
That's what you wrote. It was never a secret.
Okay, so can I have a show of hands in terms of?
But that's okay. Sorry. If I could ask, sorry, no, if I could ask something real quick too. I wasn't planning to talk about that little item at the end, but just like a thought, a proposal. Not that we're gonna put out there yet. We would or whatever, but like maybe the group come up with a collective statement. Not that we're gonna like promote it or whatever, but just so like everybody is on the same page as far as like, okay, if it does come up or if someone does ask, we have our official statement or official go-to bullet point list of what we're going to tell people if certain questions arise or whatever. That way we're all on the same page, and no other, I say, it doesn't get twisted up if it's all coming from the same source, the same agreed upon statement or whatever. Not that we're gonna, like I said, not we're gonna advertise it, whatever, but just for the group to have in case or when people do ask about the situation.
I hear you talking about a script, which is fine as long as it's.
Yeah, I'm about, yeah, whatever.
Wait, but can I finish?
Sorry.
Okay. As long as it states the facts and the truth. If we have a script, that's fine, that happens, but not everybody's going to adhere to it. But as long as it's truthful and states the facts and the data, that's all.
Yeah.
I one more thing. I want to. Are we talking about making a public statement and then having talking points? Because a script is different from the organization. Because if this gets out, there are two ways we can handle it. We're either playing catch up or we're setting the narratives. And I think that's what Naomi was alluding to. Like if we get together and we understand this, Miguel steps down, we have accountability for it, then that's a public statement that we make. And then it's there. Then we get to tell the narrative. If it gets out, then we are now responding to things. And at that point, we still also need to have talking points. So either way you look, something has to be prepared that the group is in alliance with. Is that what you're alluding to, Miguel? Okay.
Yeah, that way, yeah.
I would suggest, and you guys can tell me how you feel about it. I would suggest that, again, Miguel and Eileen get together, that those documents be presented, that this group meet again on Tuesday, that we finalize that, and any statements that will be made in reference to the actions that this group is making, and that the other people in the organization be made aware of that. And if there's people that should be invited to the meeting next Tuesday, I see Sony's name there, I see Pam's name there. And again, making sure that Jatan is there. I have no problem with that at all. It's up to the group that how we move forward with that. But those names were listed in the chat, so I'm assuming that those are really key people that should be part of the group. And so they would be invited to the meeting next week, and anyone that's not, the prepared statement, the proactive prepared statement in reference to Save Venice and Miguel's role and responsibilities and whatever other information we want to give to the rest of the group and thus to the public, it'd be decided at the next meeting on.
Okay, in the chat, Lydia's saying, I think this burden is too heavy to carry and we should debrief without Miguel. I'm not opposed to praying together, but we do need to debrief for a wee bit, and that she's in shock over there.
I'm sorry, debrief without Miguel. And what I can't see the chat. That's fine.
She said, I think this burden is heavy to carry, and we should debrief without Miguel. I'm not opposed to praying together, debrief for a wee bit, because she's in shock over there. Meaning she's in shock.
She means like tonight?
Lydia, or do you mean tonight?
Yes. I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise over here.
Okay, well,
if you want, I could just leave right now, and I'll just talk with Eileen. I'll let you, Laddie and Naomi, know as far as me meeting up with Mama Eileen, and then guys, keep you guys posted throughout the weekend as far as everything, and then yeah, I'm good with that. I got no.
okay, so Miguel will ask you to leave now with the understanding that you'll be back at. You and Eileen will meet. In the meantime, I think you guys talked about a Saturday date, but we'll be reconvening on Tuesday with that information and with your installation.
Correct.
Periodic pay plan. Okay. All right. So everybody else that we'll stay for the debriefing that Lydia is asking for. Okay, Miguel, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Everybody have a beautiful night. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, Miguel.
Adios.
Bye.
Okay, Miguel's disconnected. So Lydia?
I think in the heavy burden to carry, you know, it doesn't mean that we stop caring for Miguel. It's just, we got to be vulnerable to trust one another. And that's, for me, it just got zapped because I'm thinking about the people who donated from the, like Laddie said, the kindness of their heart, and maybe they didn't have a lot of money, you know.
That would
Maybe
be
they
me.
didn't. Yeah, and so the sacrifices were made for the better good with regards to Black history and Black lives and prayer, which is ever so sacred. And I don't know, I'm going to step back for a minute. So I'm collecting my thoughts, and I'm flabbergasted. So maybe somebody else wants to debrief.
Can I please say something that I believe in, that I trying to practice, you know, Buddhist wisdom for the last 15 years or so. No gossip is allowed. So that's a good thing. So let's just say, let's not gossip about anything until next Tuesday. And let's do our own personal prayers. And I need a lot of solitude right now myself.
Yes. Eileen?
I'm ready to rest.
Okay.
Meditate before I go to sleep so I can be prepared. Even the environment, the boundaries and everything. So that's all. I just need rest.
Okay. Loli, you have any comment? You're muted.
So basically, I do think that we should definitely have him come back on the meeting on Tuesday. And I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well,
sorry, I mean, my
at
80-year-old
this
mother.
point, yeah, at this point, people are just saying whatever's on their heart or on their mind.
I definitely want to collect my thoughts also too, but I also, you know, just like Ingrid mentioned, the gossiping, like maybe we should just keep it within ourselves and see what the information that comes out and then take it from there. But definitely not, like John said too, let's just keep it within ourselves right now and definitely pray on it and definitely pray for him and for all of us, you know. I care a lot about all of you guys. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Margaret?
It's pretty disappointing. I think this is a mighty little group. And, you know, I've had my differences. That's neither here nor there. It's a mighty little group. And trust is really important. And how people outside trusted us,
yeah,
submitting donations is no small responsibility. And it's really disappointing that this has happened, and it's really disappointing that now we're all accountable.
Right.
That this has happened. And, you know, it does affect all of our reputations. I mean, you know, it's a buy-in. A community group like this is a buy-in. So I'm disappointed more than anything. I think that we shouldn't talk about it outside of this little group until there is a payment plan, because I think a payment plan is a promise to restore the good faith of those donors. And why jump ahead of that? He might have spent more on, say, Venice than he reckons. He might have spent less, but let's account for it and have a structured plan, because that is the answer to community questions, right? There's a plan. So personally, I really want to give Miguel and Eileen a chance to work on that. And I would much prefer that we keep it within this group until that time.
Thank you. Is it Sarah? Venetian?
Amen to MM. Oh, it says amen to Margaret.
Oh, okay. Eileen, are you wanting to speak again, or are you trying to get rid of your hand up there?
No, I was just looking at the chat, sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to speak again. I want to go to rest.
Okay, all right. So, Jay, you.
So that's Sarah Venetian. Is she on the line?
I don't know. I called her, but she's still muted. It looks like. Yeah. Sarah? Maybe she can't. If you can't use your phone to hear, maybe you can put it in the chat. In the meantime, Jay, do you have any closing remarks?
You guys know I've said a lot. I've been pretty vocal, but I do agree with Margaret. I would love to give, and others said that as well, Miguel and Eileen an opportunity to get together, because we need numbers as well when we talk to people. There, even on this discussion, there was a conflict in numbers, and as many receipts as we can possibly obtain from him, whatever record keeping, I think that just will give us factual data. And I am very much at this point a fan of keeping this amongst us until we have the information and we kind of decide how we're going to present this moving forward. So thank you, that's it. And it's very disheartening, and a little bit of trust, you know, it's for a small group, trust is any group, but definitely for an intimate group like us, trust is a big deal.
So, Sarah, can you hear or no? Maddie?
I just want you guys all to understand that he was asked, Naomi can back me up, several emails, he was asked to bring any and all information to us. He chose not to. So we did ask twice. I asked via text and I asked via email. So he was asked. And at this point right now, I'm very irritated with his response. I'm very irritated at the fact that I had to tell him he didn't apologize. Very irritated with that I had to tell him he had to take responsibility to all of you. That means a lot to me. I've ran a nonprofit for now going on 40 years, and it happens. It happens to all nonprofits. But we are a close-knit group, and what happened to us as a close-knit group is just not okay. And there'll be no gossiping. If it was, I would have told the world already by now. So I want all of you to know that. I would have told the world. So for everybody to say, let's stay in the group and let's do that, I plan to do that. I plan to wait. But let's see what Eileen gets, because Naomi and I, in all good honesty, asked for all the records, and it was not given to us. As you see tonight, he was going to change the story up about the GoFundMe. twice. And I'm just not feeling that right now. I'm very irritated and I'm very upset. I'm glad all of you can have the patience that you had with him tonight. I don't know if you're in shock and tomorrow it'll all come up. But Naomi and I did ask for any and all receipts pertaining to the account. And the $1,300, which he denied Naomi and I on Tuesday, that was mixed in with the $9,000. Now I hear tonight it wasn't. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
And I just want to say, Laddie, that this was no slight on either of you. It was just as an organization that we can say that we double proofed everything. Not only what he gave us, but then a second set of eyes that's with him going through every single detail with Eileen. That's, I just think for our accountability as well, that as a group, after we found out, we took the necessary actions to make sure that the bookkeeping was accurate.
So, okay, Lydia, you ready?
Thank you, everyone. You know, I yesterday at 6 a.m. a friend's coming over to pick up some sage. I was at LADWP at 6 a.m. and one of the elders there that came from Arizona, another one that came from Paiute territory up north, they all said the same thing, and I was wondering what that was pertaining to. And they said, in these times, we have to forgive the unforgivable. And that's what I'm going to pray about. You know, this is like another Miguel you know, this is like a different Miguel. And that's what I have to say. I don't recognize the irresponsibility in this. It wasn't his to spend. And forgiving the unforgivable was the message yesterday. We prayed for the children that are being unearthed. Today it was 1,606 children. And I've got a 5-day run prayer that I'm managing from home. And my heart is heavy for everyone within the group and everyone who believes in us as community. And that's all. I'm gonna burn a lot of sage and say a lot of prayers for everyone, including Miguel.
Okay.
Well, Sarah is in the chat. Let me read it for you guys. Brad Neal has been saying this for a while. Brad Neal said he gave, and I said Brad Neal told me he gave items. I didn't push it because that would be how it would get out. Brad Neal told Matt Fisher that Mike was taking money last year, which is when all hell broke loose with Save Venice and Matt. But Brad was definitely in the mix playing people, Sarah said. I know that because Matt accused me of stealing the money. He just had the wrong person. So, Sarah,
that's Brad Neal for you. He plays people, and he's a very manipulative person in my experience.
I'm not doubting that, Margaret. That's not what Sarah said. Sarah said Brad Neal. I'm just reading what Sarah wrote in the chat.
Go ahead.
I wasn't challenging that. I was just saying Brad Neal does play people, and you know, Matt Fisher somehow was in the mix for that.
Okay, so Laddie, can you finish?
And I'm just saying Brad Neal contacted me, and I didn't push it because I know that would be how it would get out. But he did state that he gave items to SaveVenice.me. Naomi and I asked him, and he denied it over and over and over again.
Okay, so I cannot express how serious this matter is to me and the implications that it has for me and the role that I am in as a commissioner. That is very worrisome for me. So I will continue to support this group, and I'll be at the next meeting, but I have to say right now that I don't know in the future what my role. I've seen things like this in the past. I know what they do to the community. I feel like the stronger the group is in sticking together and standing on what decisions that we make next Tuesday about how we handle this. But I'm thinking about how there's so many enemies out there that don't like Save Venice and who would try to use this against us in any way that they could. We still have the final approval of the church designation. I don't think that that's threatened in any way. But I know that there are just so many arrows out there that are ready to be thrown at Save Venice. And we would have to be very strong in terms of how we would defend, or not defend, but be able to respond to our own responsibility and how we deal with it. Because as Margaret said, it's not going to be just looked at as being a Miguel infraction. You know, the group is going to bear some of the burden of responsibility, regardless of what we know from the inside. So I'm praying too, and we'll see what happens. But I would ask again that this group be very discerning about any discussion. I agree that Jatan and the individuals that should be a part of this group, because they have been actively a part of the group, should know what's going on, but use your best judgment. And I'll see.
Let's all read up on what ethics means and use it in our future plans. Nothing can go wrong when everything is ethically good. So just be strong.
Okay, so
I have to add, whatever we do or decide moving forward, it just hit me. We have the city council vote for the last vote for to deem the church a historical site.
I just said that.
You did? I didn't, well, my dogs were barking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I
So
did
just
say
hit
that.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
It has to go to Plum, and then,
Yeah,
and so, you know.
I appreciate that. My dogs were barking. I don't know who's gonna close us with prayer, but thank you.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start to cry again, so I can't.
All right.
I'm sorry. I found $3 in my pocket when I did laundry.
Well, then I will ask Ingrid or Margaret, who are Buddhist, to close with prayer, or Eileen, because I'm African American, raised with a Baptist dad. So if I say the prayer, it's going to be
Okay, but I have 7% charge left, so
okay. All right.
raise your hands, guys. I ask for the universe, our ancestors, our Mother, Father, God, our Mother Earth, whoever you choose to call a greater power, to send the light and wisdom to Miguel at this moment with the love that we have for him and the purpose. And to all of us to help us deal with this shock and trauma, and continue to pray daily with every bit of nature that you see, because you're gonna see a reason and a meaning for us to move forward. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And good night to you guys. See you Tuesday. All right.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
You
Good night.
Tuesday.
Love you guys.
Take
Night.
care.
Good
Good night.
night. Night, Naomi.
Night.